Stu Rodman has represented the 11th District in the Beaufort County Council for 16 years, since 2007. Yeah. Let's talk about that 16 years. You have taken a lot of hits from a lot of different people in all that time. Why do you still want to be a county councilor?
Love South Carolina. Lived in Columbia for a long time. Love the Lowcountry. It's an opportunity to give back, and I really enjoy the opportunity to jump into problems. And I love solving problems.
You got a list of problems. Let's talk about
it. For example, Hilton Head Airport. I was in the aerospace industry. Got here, understood that there was very controversy about what we ought to do. Brokered the deals that let us get to the airport that we have now. So instead of going out of business commercially, which we were on attack to do as the turbo hose went out, we today have all the major airlines, one-stop service any place in the world for the practical piece, and so that was kind of fun, and so I kind of enjoyed kicking that off. Another one that was kind of fun about a year and a half ago, it turned out that the auditor had some problems and we didn't have a tax bill, and you can't pay your taxes unless you have a tax bill. Right. And it dawned on me about 2 weeks before the end of the year we had to do something. So I grabbed the Maria Walls and I grabbed the county attorney, and within a day we had all figured out how to make it happen. We collected $30–40 million, and there probably would have been $20–30 million that people would have paid and not gotten their tax deduction if I hadn't stepped in to do that.
Okay.
But those are kind of fun things.
Yeah. The 278 corridor is a huge issue, obviously, here on the island. You live in Sea Pines. It affects you as much as anybody.
Well, it is. I was part of putting the whole thing together.
Okay.
Tom Davis and I worked closely, and essentially where we are today is that there's a pretty good transportation solution to what it is. But nobody is happy with the aesthetics that go with it.
Right.
So that's the next step. Working closely with Tom, and I appreciate his endorsement, working closely with Mayor McCann, and I appreciate his endorsement. But we're working that issue with DOT, and the next step will be to solve that problem. And then the next big one is we're probably, with the inflation that we're seeing now, we've probably got $100 million problem to solve.
I was going to say, are we going to? Yeah.
No, we're going to do it.
Now we got to fund it.
I come out of a financial background and had pretty good success over time helping the county to do some of those.
There are ways to do that then. Okay. Let's talk then more. Any other priorities? Any other things you want? Okay, you've done all this. Now, what do you want to do?
Well, I think the circles. I love Sea Pine Circle.
Okay,
we're right here.
Yeah,
and it's failing at this point in time, as people notice, particularly as the toll came off.
Right.
It's a county project, and I chair public facilities, and so I initiated the circle-to-circle evaluation a couple years ago. The alternatives are not pretty, but we're going to get it done, and we'll figure out a way to do that. But we're starting to work on that now, but we need to preserve the circle. There's ways to do it, and so we've got the right people working on it. Circle-to-circle
meaning Sea Pines to Coligny.
Yeah, okay. That was, in fact, I even named that.
Well, I like it. I like it. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but what can you do to make it a better situation?
Well, I think there's two possibilities. One is this basic circle design, certain things you can do, and the other is to create a kind of an outer circle where we have 3 of the 4 quadrants, and we need the 4th quadrant. And so it'll be expensive, but we need to preserve that circle. I love that circle. I think everybody in Sea Pines loves that circle.
Everybody trying to get through that circle maybe doesn't necessarily love it quite as much.
I go down your front drive here.
We figure out how to get around it. One other thing, I noticed you've got tourism on your list. It continues to be. Are we ever going to get to the point where we've got to stop and say, here on the island, time out?
Oh, I'm a believer that we ought to do that. There's people talking about what is the carrying capacity of the island. So, but we want the right tourists to come, and so it's a matter of balancing that. The last one is, I think, on the Gullah piece, I'd love to see us create a visitor center for the Gullah Geechee corridor, which is, we're in the middle of it for the National Park Service, and I think it belongs right here, and we got people working on it. So I think a lot of interesting things in the future.
See all you learn by paying attention. I appreciate the time, Stu. Thank you. Good luck to you in the race, and we may see you back here in November talking about.
You will.
Yeah, talking about the whole deal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Good to see you.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
We want to thank all our guests for making us just a little bit smarter, and especially we want to thank you for checking us out on the WHHI Daily News. I'm Bob Stevens. If you missed anything at all, we'll be back in 90 minutes.